to fund restoration of the Hamilton Senior Center sign, and that's a hold. And who asked for that hold? Thank you. Number 7, to appropriate $33,550 of FY16 Community Preservation Fund revenues to fund the town's share of a matching grant to restore and rehabilitate the community house. And then we're going into community housing section. Number 8, to reserve $45,033 of FY16 Community Preservation Fund revenues to the Community Preservation Community Housing Reserve. And finally, for administration, number 9, to appropriate $22,516 of FY16 Community Preservation Fund revenues for the administration costs, including but not limited to annual Community Preservation Coalition membership fees and salary for a part-time community projects coordinator position. Okay, we have held out number 2 and 3 by not reading them, and we have a hold on number 6. At this point, I recognize Tom Catalano of the Community Preservation Commission for the motion of the items which were not omitted or held.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I move that the town appropriate or reserve for future appropriation monies from the Community Preservation Fund annual revenues, specific reserves, or other available funds for the administrative expenses of the Community Preservation Committee, the payment of debt service, the undertaking of community preservation projects, and all other necessary and proper expenses for the year as read and corrected by the moderator, accepting those items held, with each item to be considered a separate appropriation, and further, that the town authorize the Board of Selectmen to execute agreements on terms acceptable to the Board to the extent necessary to effectuate the public benefits of such projects.
Is there a second to that motion? The motion has been seconded. Any discussion? Mr. Catalano? No discussion?
No discussion.
Any other discussion? If not, let's vote.
Actually, I do have one quick note I'd like to add.
Please. Later.
For those of you who didn't see the handout, we are in the process of updating our community preservation plan. We're going to be holding a public meeting at the library on May 21st, and we're seeking input on the re-editing and reproduction of the community preservation plan. So you can participate with an online survey. You can get a copy of the survey or give us comments at Town Hall, or you can attend the hearing on the 21st and give us your input that way.
Thank you. Thank you for that announcement. If not, let's go for a vote on that. All those in favor of the motions which have been read and not held, as made by Mr. Catalano, please say aye. Please say aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Those are done. So let's go next for the held item. Item number 6 from Virginia Cookson.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. My name is Virginia Cookson, and I live at 318 Forest Street. My question to the committee is simply, why so much money for a sign?
For those of you who have seen the rather sorry state of the current sign, this is an attempt to actually have a low maintenance sign. We're going to be taking down the Hamilton letters replacing them with cast bronze letters which will require no maintenance. It's a virtually lifetime sign. It's a capital investment meant to reduce long-term expenses, not a short-term fix.
Thank you. Any further questions or discussions? If not, let's vote on the appropriation of... There is a question?
Yeah.
Well, you have to come down to the... Kevin?
Hi there, Kevin Kaminsky. I live at 550 Highland. I'm DCR's historical curator for the Dodge House. I have to ask this question of the Preservation Board and the CPA membership of Hamilton. As members of the CPA Act, Hamilton is obliged to recognize open space abatements and restrictions on land. And as a representative of the federal government, when it comes to historic preservation, their purpose is to show leadership, contribute to, and show maximum support of preservation efforts. The town of Hamilton, through its assessor's office, has stepped into a state park, which should receive a reimbursement from the state of $108,000 a year, sectioned out the property of our project, and taxed it at full market value. When asked why, their reply is that we think we can. In the office of the state senator, Bruce Tarr, we asked that our lease be reduced by 70% of land value from 1.4 acres to 0.4 acre. Our taxes were reduced by $400. We have presented a brief to the town.
Kevin?
Oh,
Yeah, you're beyond the scope of this particular
well, okay,
motion.
so I want to know on behalf of which federal agency the town of Hamilton is acting on as a CPA member in taxation of a state-run program, thus cutting off a direct flow of equity to the state and endangering all other state programs in other states by their actions.
That's beyond the scope of the articles we have in front of us. We'll have to take that up with the selectmen. I'm sure they'll
Good.
respond to
I
that.
wanted to make sure that the town citizens knew what was going on.
Thank you. I think do we have a motion on this item number 6? If not, do we have a motion to appropriate the $3,525 to Community Preservation Fund revenues to fund the restoration of the Hamilton Senior Center sign? Has somebody made that motion yet?
So moved.
So, okay. Is the motion seconded?
Second.
Motion has been seconded on number 6. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion passes and the senior center sign appropriation has been passed. Let's go back now and we will take up item number 2 to appropriate. Is there a motion to appropriate $53,120,000 of community preservation unrestricted reserves to fund beginning in the final planning, development, and construction documents for the Veterans Memorial Pool at Patton Park?
Yes, I'd like to make that motion, Mr. Moderator. I'll read the full motion just in case. I move that the town appropriate $53,120 of community preservation unrestricted reserves to fund beginning in fiscal year 15 for final planning and development of construction documents for a swimming pool, a bathhouse, operations building, and deck areas, all at Patton Park, including all costs incidental and related thereto.
Is there a second? I'm going to have to declare 5 minute. We have a technical problem on the hall. So kindly.
But you're running!
No,
My God.
we don't